to spray at you? Wow, look at them all. Look at how cool.
He's drinking water.
Turn on.
The light pink birds in the shallow water and on the tiny island on the left are greater flamingos, and they are the lightest pink of the 4 species of flamingo. Flamingos get their pink coloration from carotene, which is found in the crustaceans they feed on the shallow water.
This thing has like 20 minutes. This thing has like 20 minutes of video on it.
But they feed on tiny little tiny
There's the elephant right in the background.
Now they're filter feeders. They put their heads down to the water, they open and close their beaks very rapidly, and that's how they separate out the food parts of the water. The small white birds in with the flamingos. Look at the short red legs and long red bills. Those are ibis, and they are common birds throughout America.
I want to get the
Yeah, with the next time we get an animal, something up there.
White rhino, check this out.
Where?
There are 2 species of rhinoceros. In Africa, there are black rhinos and there are white rhinos, and these are white rhinos, and they get much larger than black rhinos.
That's what happened.
Black rhinos go around 3,000 pounds. White rhinos, they get 5,000 pounds each, sometimes more. Black rhinos have pointy snouts and prehensile upper lips, and they're adapted for nibbling and browsing vegetation. But the white rhinos, they've got big square snouts and big square lips, and they're better adapted for grazing out in the northern grassland and savanna. Zebras off to the right. Some more white rhinos down there as well. The zebras that you see in the reserve are grand zebra. They're also known as the plain zebra. They are common animals out on the savanna. In fact, they take part in large animal migration across the savanna every year, along with the wildebeest, the impala, and some of the other animals. At the end of the dry season, when the rains begin, the rains move across the savanna and green up the grass and the forage. The zebra and the other migrating animals follow that way for fresh green browse across the savanna to take advantage of all the nutritious new growth. If you look really carefully, there are 2 cheetahs laying down flat against the ground, right up, about halfway up the hillside along the tree line.
No one can see him.
Just look, if you look across the rocks, look left a little bit, you'll see them laying there. Just see little patches of fur right now, unfortunately. But cheetahs are the fastest animals on Earth. They can run at speeds of over 60 miles an hour for a very short distance. Their claws
I don't see them.
like the cat-like, and they can't retract their claws.
Where are they?
Their claws like other cats can. And when cheetahs hunt,
Oh,
they hunt by day
right
and
over
by
there.
sight.
Way over
And it
there.
also makes them different from other cats.
I hope we get a picture.
Rock outcrops like the one coming to view are called kopis. That's an Afrikaans word. It means table mountains. Lions like to use the kopis for places where they can look for game or remain inactive during the day. And they'll remain inactive for up to about 20 hours out of the day. Not necessarily sleeping all that time, but resting up and taking it easy. And at nighttime, the females lionesses, they go out to the hunting to feed and pride. The males very seldom take part in like the pride territory.
Hopefully
But it's
the
usually
4
the
hours
females
are
that
right.
feed and pride. The brown antelope off to the right, the ones with the white faces, legs, bellies, and rumps, those are bontebok. And the bontebok is a small close relative of the wildebeest. It only goes about 170 pounds. Early in the last century, they were considered pests. They were shot and killed indiscriminately and almost exterminated. When they were threatened with extinction, it was some of the local farmers who heard the remains of bontebok into their pastures and protected them. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have the bontebok with us today. At the low point, there were only 17 of them left in the wild. Fortunately, the bontebok's numbers have increased very nicely. They're not terribly uncommon animals any longer. Lions up on the hillside off to the left.
Lions up there.
I see it.
Oh,
That gives
that's
us a
cool.
look at, unfortunately.
These are the 20 hours.
Yell out at them, see if you can wake them up.
Then they run over here.
Then they go,
See the poop coming
There's a warthog up ahead of us also, not giving us too much to look at. It's right up against that brush.
watch it.
About 11 o'clock in there.
Where is it?
Dirt from the floor.
Warthogs are the largest burrowing
Where?
animal in Africa. By the time they back themselves into their burrows, there's tusk in there, as we point out. That helps protect them against their predators.
Oh,
They have
look,
short
right
little
there.
tiny legs
On the
on them,
ground.
but they can still
Yeah.
run at speeds of about 35 miles an hour. They're just neat, tough, fast little animals. And these are ostrich eggs on the left-hand side of the road. I don't see any birds around, but they're around somewhere. Ostriches are the largest living birds in the world. Their eggs, they weigh
See the
around 3 pounds.
ostrich eggs? Those are the ostrich eggs.
One more look at the white rhinos and then we'll take off. White rhinos were once considered a conservation success story. Their numbers were increasing, and they were expanding their range back into some of their former territory. But poaching activity has increased significantly. Their numbers are in decline again.
Over
and they're in serious
15
trouble with
minutes.
Wildfowl because of those horns. Poachers killed them, they cut their horns off. The horns are smuggled out of Africa. Most of them end up in either Vietnam or China where they're ground up, and they're used in traditional medicines. Because they've become so scarce due to the poaching, their horns are literally worth more than their weight in gold. The tan antelope with the spirally horns are addax. During the summer months, their coats would be almost pure white. But when they get their winter coat in the fall, it has that tan or light brown coloration. And that helps them to absorb solar radiation during the winter months, helps them stay a little bit warmer during the colder months of the year. Addax are critically endangered in the wild. The latest census estimates that there are fewer than 300 left in all the wild. Now they're a little more common in captivity. There's somewhere around 2,000 scattered out between public zoos and private game ranges in the U.S. alone. In the wild, they inhabit the Sahara Desert region of northern Africa, and their original range extended a little bit beyond the Sahara. Most of the remaining few animals found in the wild are concentrated in the country of Chad, and there is a high degree of risk they will become extinct in the wild, probably in the not-too-distant future. They're still being killed for their meat. They're still being killed for their hides, which are used to make leather. This gorge does mark the end of our safari, so I'm going to have to drop you off back to the Warden Post, and from there, it is an easy hike back to the village. If you do want to see some animals up close, I've got some suggestions for you. There are two major walking trails in the park where you can see animals up close. There's the Pangani Forest Trail, right here in Africa, right by the Exodus Safari, and there are some neat things to see out there. There's a colony of western lowland gorillas, and there's also a large fast-running poach where you can watch hippos moving around underwater. And with the hippos, there are thousands of brightly colored fish, like malawi, big rift lakes in East Africa. Lots of other things to see out there. Now, over in Asia is the Maharaja Jungle Trek that's right across the Yangtze River right. You can see white and orange Bengal tigers and many other animals there. This is your final stop, and we don't say goodbye at Kilimanjaro Safaris, we say Kwaherini. That's Swahili, means go well, so welcome back to the Warden Post, everyone, and Kwaherini.